Good morning, sixth graders, and happy Monday. So today is Monday, September 21st, and we found out yesterday afternoon that we were moving to hybrid. So this video is for those gold kids who are at home today in our hybrid model. If you're a green kid, you don't have to watch this. We will be doing all of these things together in class. Hopefully you can get through kind of our list of things to do today. This video is going to be a little bit longer because I do want to talk to you about some of the things that I'm talking about with kids in class today. But there are also some things that I'm just going to wait and discuss with you on Thursday when you're in person. So reading our update, hopefully you've already done this. Happy Monday, sixth graders. Today we'll do a few different things. We will look at our grades and what different symbols mean in our grade book. So I am going to go over that quickly with you. We will organize notability. Remember, this is at school learners only. So you will do that with me on Thursday. And then we will begin to read chapter 1, Studying Minnesota. Remember to continue working on your maps and globe sheet and get those turned in to Schoology. I only have between like 5 and 10 from each class. So the majority of us do need to turn that in today. It's not technically due till Friday, but today would be a great day to finish working on that as well. Notice at home learners, gold students, please find the Monday 9/21 at home attendance Google form and fill that out and complete. The completed form will be your attendance for the day. Okay, so at the end of the day, I'll run a report. It will be time-stamped, so I'll see where you are working on your work. And if you've completed that attendance form, I will mark you present for class. We'll peek at the materials real quick. Notice we have a new folder here. And then we also have our Monday, September 21st folder, which is today. And this is that at-home attendance. Again, remember, if it ever does this to you, you just use this little button and it will take you here. It will record your email address, but just in case, for whatever reason, if that's being an issue, go ahead and put your first name and your last name. Then you choose your social studies core. Core 1 are the kiddos that are always in my room. Core 2 are the ones that are in Mr. Rolf's room that I see right before storm time. Core 3 are those students in Miss Leah's room and I see right after lunch. And then Core 4 are those students in Miss Johnson's room and I see you right before Allied Arts. So hopefully you're starting to remember which core you are in. If not, I just kind of explained it to you there. And then notice I'm asking you which parts of today's class have you completed, and then check all that apply. Ideally, you will do this kind of towards the end of your scheduled social studies time, and then you'll check all of these. But I do want you to be honest with all of these. So if you get done with the day and you've watched this entire video and you're checked your Schoology grade and turned in any missing assignments you might have and you read chapter 1, but you still have some more work to do on that maps and globes, don't click this box, right? It's not technically due until Friday. So some of you might get this done today and some of you might work on it tomorrow or Wednesday when you're at home, okay? And then always just hit submit and then that will be your attendance for the day, okay? The next thing I want to just touch base with you real quickly is about your Schoology grade book, okay? Over the weekend I went through and graded both the, let's see, what did we have in there? I graded both that 9/11 discussion we did the other day and then your name tag picture. And I just want to show you a couple different things what the symbols mean and kind of what you should figure out. So you go into your Schoology grade book. So for you, it's going to look a little bit different. It's going to say materials, updates, and then grades right here, or it might be the fourth one. I'm not quite sure. But when you click on that picture, it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. Okay, we're in our first term. We have assessments, which we haven't had any. We have classwork, which is what our 2 grade points are from. And then we have responsibility points. And I remember those are attached to each assignment for if you turn it in on time. I haven't done that yet with either of these 2 assignments, and that's okay. Remember, we said they would be attached to some assignments, but not all assignments. So this student is sitting at an A. The student is sitting at 100% because they got full points on that 9/11 discussion, and then they got the full points on the name tag picture. Okay. As we get more and more grades in here, this might not sit at an A the whole time, right? Maybe you made a little mistake. Maybe you didn't quite understand a concept. So this might fluctuate, and that's okay. The next student's work that I want to show you is missing assignments. Okay, so here right away, I'm going to pop down here and show you that we have a course grade of 50%, which in the middle school grade book, that's an F. Now remember, when you are missing something, you can always turn it in late, right? That's why I'm having you check your grade today and see where you're sitting. You'll notice that they took that name tag picture and turned it in and got a 5 out of 5, but they haven't done the 9/11 discussion yet. Okay, so if this is what your grade book looks like, you just need to go back into Schoology and back into materials. And remember, that was the very first week of school, right? So you go into here, and then you go into Friday, September 11th, and you do this discussion. Okay, you'll notice 75 of us have done it. I have about 115 students. So there's quite a few of you that have yet to do that. So we just need to pop back into this folder and finish up that 9/11 discussion. Okay, if you do it today, remember that I have until Thursday to update that grade book. So what might happen is it might still say missing until Thursday when I go back and grade late assignments. But see this little icon, and I apologize, I know it's kind of hard to see right now, but there's this little icon. This one is that blue piece of paper. So anytime you submit like a PDF through Notability, it looks like that. But the discussion looks like this. I think it's like a little blue square and then maybe a pencil by it. That means something is submitted, but it would still have that orange hexagon to show that it was missing. Okay. And then finally, the other one that I want to talk about briefly is excused assignments. So you'll notice that this student is sitting at 100%. They have an A. They turned in their 9/11 discussion. There's that little icon showing us that they've done that discussion. But then for whatever reason, they didn't turn their name tag picture in. And instead of it marked missing, it's marked excused. Okay. What this means is that they didn't turn it in and they're not earning points for it, but it's also not counting against them. The best example I have for this is if we had a student who was out at the beginning of the year because of quarantine, when I didn't worry about them. I worried about getting them a name tag, but not about them turning in that picture. Okay. So it's not counting towards their grade, but it's also not negatively affecting their grade. Okay. The other thing, 6th graders, I'm going to pop back to this missing assignments slide. This is probably really scary for some of you, and you probably have adults at home that would get really frustrated by this grade. But it's important to remember that we have 2 assignments in our grade book right now. So if you are missing one, that we talked about that lowers your grade like that, right? That doesn't mean this is your permanent grade. Okay. That means we got some work to do. And we're going to check off those boxes. We're going to check our grade in Schoology and turn in missing assignments, and then we'll be good to go. Okay? If you have questions, you can always send me an email. Remember, I most likely will get back to you sometime in the afternoon when I have my prep. Okay? So just a little bit more, and then you're going to go ahead and start working on either your maps and globe sheets or reading or listening to chapter 1, but I want to show you that real quick. Remember, you have that app on our iPad. Remember, we dragged it down to the permanent dock, so it should be there. But just in case you're not quite remembering, remember it's the MNHS Education app. Okay, I'm making this video on my computer, so it looks a little different. Remember, it's that blue app with like the fancy M, or you can always search MNHS Education. Okay, so we're going to go there, and here we see chapter 1. If we went back, some of us watched this video last week. If you didn't, you can hit this play video real quick and kind of learn. It's a pretty good overview about the entire year. Okay. Then what I want you to do is notice that we have all of those state symbols that we worked with last year or last week about our beautiful state of Minnesota. And then you're going to start reading. And let me expand my screen real quick, or let me move up. Let me move this up because I want to show you something. You'll notice at the bottom, usually in the right or left corner, they have little page numbers, okay? So really, where you're going to start reading is this 1.03, okay? And now, remember, I said you can either read it or listen to it, okay? So if you click this little button here, this little microphone button.
What is Minnesota? At first glance, this might look like a simple question.
It starts reading to you, okay? And I'm not quite sure if you could hear that because I don't know if this video is recording my computer audio, but I promise if you click this little button, it's going to start reading to you, okay? So you could plug your headphones in or go to a quiet spot at your house and listen to page 3, page 4, okay? This is still kind of introducing Minnesota. This is going to talk about shared history, which we'll talk about in more detail throughout this chapter. Here's the definition of shared history. So you'll notice we have 2 vocabulary words here. So anytime you see a bold word in our textbook, that means it's a vocabulary word for the chapter. And then they would have the definition right here, okay? Then it's going to talk about Minnesota studies and how that's connected to social studies, which is all those different thought processes of history, geography, civics, economics. And then you're going to talk about studying Minnesota, and they're talking a little bit about sidebars. Okay, we'll do more with the sidebars this week, but what you need to know is sometimes they have an idea or a concept or a person or a place that they want to talk to you about, but it doesn't necessarily fit in the body of our chapter. So they have a geography sidebar, which is always in purple with this little compass rose. We have an economic sidebar, which is green and has this little money symbol. When I say economics, you should always think money, okay? And it gets much bigger than that, but that should always be your first thought. And then finally, civic sidebar, which looks like this little government building. Civics is a very similar idea to government, but civics talks about all the people participating, whereas government is usually focused on like the people in St. Paul or the people in Washington, D.C., okay? There are some pictures back here that you can certainly look through. These are all Minnesotans through the year, okay? Notice down here, I'm just tapping this red arrow and looking at all the different Minnesotans that they talk about. The next page is the investigation, which I'm not going to have you read today. So for today, I'm going to go back real quick. I want you either to read or listen to page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, and then interact and look at those pictures on page 7, okay? So after you get done with that, that's the last thing you need to do today. You don't have to do anything with that information that you've read or listened to. We'll work with it throughout the week this week and maybe until next week a little bit. Remember to get any missing assignments turned in. You can do some work on your maps and globes today, but it doesn't need to be completely finished by Friday. But if it is finished, go ahead and get that done. And as always, 6th graders, go ahead and send me emails with any questions you have. I hope you have a great day at home, and I hope you get some things checked off this list. Thanks, 6th graders.